on programs on controlling micronutrient deficiency and stunting in India. India has made great progress in reducing stunting, wasting, and underweight in the last 1 to 2 decades. Nevertheless, it continues to be a public health problem in India. Even now, we have 30 to 35% children stunted and a significant proportion of children wasted as well. Okay. Now, this slide shows you reduction in anemia, mild, moderate, and severe. While in the last few years, it has reduced from 69 to 58%. Still, it is at a very high level, both among children as well as among women. A recent CNNS report also showed significant level of anemia among our children. This is data collected throughout the country from all the states, right from age 1 to about 20 years. And what we see here is, apart from anemia at the level of around 20%, we also see deficiency of other micronutrients like B12, vitamin A deficiency, vitamin D deficiency, and zinc deficiency to the level of about 20 to 30% across age groups. As far as programs are concerned, we have about 6 interventions to reduce anemia. This is prophylactic folic acid, iron and folic acid supplementation. This has been initiated about several decades back. And we also have this periodic deworming of women, children, adolescent, and pregnant women, started relatively late. We also have behavior change communication and testing of anemia using digital methods and point of care treatment, that is targeted approach, and mandatory provision of iron and folic acid supplementation in public health programs for adolescents and also women. So apart from these 6 intervention programs to reduce anemia, we also have other programs which address other micronutrients such as iodine deficiency disorder, which was a huge problem causing thyroid deficiency disorders. The National Iodine Deficiency Disorder Control Program was initiated, wherein we have fortified the salt, and this salt currently it reaches at least 90% of the population in India. And apart from this addressing the iodine deficiency, we also have prophylactic program for controlling vitamin A deficiency among children, wherein children of 1 year to 6 years receive a massive dose of vitamin A orally in oil miscible form every 6 months. In the first year, it will be less than 1 lakh international units, and after 1 year, it will be 2 lakhs international units every 6 months up till 6 years. We were able to control night blindness and vitamin A deficiency related disorders such as corneal and conjunctival xerosis. Currently, we do not see that much blindness related to vitamin A deficiency or nutritional blindness in India. Now, apart from these 2 micronutrients addressing programs, we also have programs such as midday meal program initiated way back in 1962. Originally, this program was initiated to improve attendance of school among children. This midday meal program essentially covers all government schools, and children from 1st class to 10th class get one full meal during the lunch time. But now what we see is, apart from improving the attendance, there is also improvement in nutrition status, and therefore it comes under the Ministry of Human Resource Development, and we continue to have this program since it is also helping improve nutrition status. Then one very massive program is Integrated Child Development Services. It is called integrated because apart from addressing nutrition supplementation to children, pregnant women and lactating women, it also addresses other issues such as health issues, and also there is counseling, health issues such as hygiene, and also prevention of infection, how mothers have to identify quickly and report to nearest health center when their babies fall ill. About 6 different programs are covered under this Integrated Child Development Services, and currently we have nearly 15 lakh ICDS centers located at different locations across India. And this caters to about millions of children in India. And after this implementation, we have seen, I mean, it was initiated in 1975, and we have seen considerable progress in improvement of stunting rates and wasting rates in India. Then I have already told you about this National Anemia Prophylaxis Program for children, adolescent girls and women. Then we also have this National Plan of Action on Nutrition initiated from 1995 and Public Distribution System. This public distribution system is a very unique and good program that has been initiated right from 1997, and it has progressed and also grown in magnitude across India. Here what happens is there are fair price shops located in different locations in India, in tribal regions, in rural areas, and also urban areas, wherein at subsidized rates, cereals, pulses, oil, and other commodities are given to people who are below poverty, and particularly cereal is distributed widely, and pulses, some regions it is not given. And under this program, another interesting thing is when rice or wheat is being distributed in some states, we also go ahead and distribute fortified rice and fortified atta to address iron deficiency anemia, wherein this product, rice or atta, is fortified with B12, iron, and folic acid. So another one is, this is about vitamin A prophylaxis program. I have already described to you how at 9 months, I mean, here if you see here, 1 lakh international unit is given at 9 months age. And this is clubbed with measles immunization to ease, I mean, when the mother comes to visit the center for measles immunization, the baby also receives this 1 lakh international units vitamin A, and along with the DPT booster, that is diphtheria, pertussis, and tetanus vaccine. When booster doses are given, the child receives 2 lakhs international units at 16 months and 18 months, and up to 5 years, the child continues to receive the massive dose of vitamin A. As far as this iodine deficiency is concerned, these are the objectives I have already described to you about this. Let us skip to the next one. Yeah. Apart from this iodine, vitamin A, and iron and folic acid prophylaxis, we also have certain programs which about zinc deficiency. As far as zinc deficiency is concerned, it is a very targeted approach where children with diarrhea are given 20 milligrams zinc per day for about 10 to 15 days, because supplementation of zinc reduces the number of days that the child suffers from diarrhea. And also it has been shown to reduce the number of episodes of stools that are, it reduces not only the intensity, but also the number of days that the child is suffering. Then apart from this, we also have programs wherein we fortify take-home rations for children and pregnant women. Micronutrients such as B12 is being used to fortify the take-home rations. Then we also have this Food Safety Standard Authority of India, which has gone ahead and stated that fortification of PDS should be mandatory. And also this body, which is controlled by central government, Food Safety Standard Authority of India, also urges the industry to voluntarily fortify certain products with, for example, oil can be fortified with the vitamin A and D, and milk also can be fortified with vitamin A and D. And there are also certain other products, like say, for example, salt, where already we have salt fortified with iron. We also urge the industries to fortify salt with iodine, not only iodine, but also iron to address iron deficiency anemia, apart from iodine deficiency. So now, yeah, this already I have told you. Now, very recently in 2017, 2014, this Poshan Abhiyan has been launched. This tackles the intergenerational cycle of malnutrition in India. This is a life cycle approach to strengthen continued care of focusing on the critical periods of nutrition vulnerability. This Poshan Abhiyan will monitor nutrition status on real-time basis. This is a very unique feature under this program. I'll come to it a little later. And the focus is also on 1,000 days of a child, which is the most critical period, which has been identified globally as a very critical period to address undernutrition among children and also women. Then Poshan Abhiyan is a multi-ministerial convergence mission with a vision to ensure attainment of malnutrition-free India by 2022. Although 2025 is a time globally, India has reduced it to 2022 to attain certain targets. Poshan Abhiyan is an apex body which will monitor different stakeholders across ministries. So here the target is to prevent and reduce stunting among children by at least 2% per annum, and reduce undernutrition by at least 2% per annum, and reduce the prevalence of anemia among children by at least 3% per annum, and reduce the prevalence of anemia among women and adolescent girls in the age group of 15 to 14 and women from 15 to 49 years at the rate of at least 3% per annum. And also to reduce low birth weight, which is currently at around 18% prevalence across India, to reduce it by at least 2% per annum. So this is the framework, package of intervention focus on 1,000 days. This is a too crowded one, but these are the packages. I won't run through this, but the next slide will explain you what exactly we do during this 1,000 days package. But apart from 1,000 days, you must also observe right from, it is not just from pregnancy to 2 years of age, which actually covers a 1,000 days period. That is 270 days during pregnancy, and the first 2 years of life, that is 365 plus 365, all put together forms 1,000 days. But we also address pre-pregnancy period because half of the women are malnourished, including undernutrition and overweight, obesity, and micronutrient deficiency. So here, during the pre-pregnancy period, education of the girl child is emphasized, age at marriage is emphasized, and also the girl will be counseled about birth spacing and its importance to address undernutrition and health problems during early childhood period. Then during pregnancy period, these are the packages like early registration, then uptake of health services under Anganwadi, then supplementation of iron and folic acid, and also certain areas calcium supplementation. This is during pregnancy period. Then we also monitor weight gain during pregnancy and other supplementary nutrition programs such as hot cooked meals and take-home rations. Then at birth, we emphasize on institutional delivery, which has increased considerably across India over the last few years, although there are variations across states. Then we also emphasize a lot on early initiation of breastfeeding. This also has increased a lot over the last few years. It has come up to 40–45%, but then there are a huge difference across states. Then post-pregnancy, within this 1,000 days period, we emphasize on young child care by ASHA worker, then completion of immunization, and continuous regular growth monitoring to detect at early stage severe acute malnutrition such as wasting and also stunting, and address these issues. Then early detection of other diseases like diarrhea and respiratory infections. Then also this period is utilized to counsel and emphasize more and more on exclusive breastfeeding for the first 6 months of the child, and also counseling on complementary feeding appropriateness and what should be fed during this and what frequency and what diet should be fed right from 6 months onwards, and continuation of breastfeeding up till 2 years. Along with this, we also give iron and folic acid, vitamin A, and deworming to this lactating women. So under this, what are the components of this newly launched Poshan Abhiyan? So here, convergence is one very important aspect. Different ministries, convergence means not only nutrition, but also rural development, urban development, and various other ministries addressing health and education is also involved. I'll come to this a little later. Then we also have this ICTS CAS common application system, wherein real-time data is being collected. Here, the Anganwadi workers who are actually not very well qualified are undergo a training to use this. This real-time monitoring helps a lot in evaluating the collection of data, the quality of data, and also regular training can be instituted based on the data that is being collected, and also immediately we can address acute malnutrition if the data is collected appropriately, because through servers, various other stakeholders can access this data. Then behavior change communication has also become very important aspect of this Poshan Abhiyan, and this is advocated through education advocacy and Jan Andolan. Jan Andolan means even the community is involved. Then we funding is given to states and districts where better improvement is there in as far as stunting and wasting is concerned. That is incentivization. And wherever innovative approaches, innovative methods are implemented and made to improve nutrition status among children, they are also identified and accordingly they are awarded. Then training and capacity building. Incremental learning approach is also one very important component of this Poshan Abhiyan. Then grievance redress call center is also there to address any problem that is there under Anganwadi centers. So here the program implementation behavioral change, under behavioral change communication, at least 3 community-based events should happen around nutrition in the last quarter under Anganwadi centers. Then nutrition advocacy at village level is also being monitored. And we take care of % of states where at least one mass media campaign was operationalized during the last 1 year, and % of states where media campaign was operationalized. All these aspects are read, and this is how we rate the districts and states for behavioral change communication so that they can be appropriately incentivized. Then implementation of incremental learning approach. % of Anganwadi workers who completed this ILA module as per the guideline in the last 3 months is taken care of. Then under this common application system, this is software developed in India. % of state that have completed master's training, trainers of trainers, and % of district that have completed training of ICDS supervisors will be monitored, and district that have completed training of Anganwadi workers. And this is synchronization with dashboard at least every week on ICDS CAS is being done, and number and % of district that are using ICDS CAS is also being monitored. This is a very unique approach where I already told you there's a real-time monitoring of growth among children, and also about supplementation program among children and women. So these are the different ministries that are involved. Ministry of Women and Child Development. This is actually the core ministry which actually oversees all the aspects in Poshan Abhiyan. This is supported by Rural Development Ministry, then Ministry of and Department of Water and Sanitation, because hygiene is also one very important aspect, and then Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, so that whenever there is diarrhea and pneumonia associated with undernutrition, the way they have to be addressed. So these are the different ministries that are involved, stakeholders. So here in NIM, which is a multidisciplinary research unit instituted in Hyderabad in India, which works under the central government. What we do in India and what is our mandate and how we support our government, I'll just narrate in 2 slides. So we provide evidence-based inputs on food and nutrient consumption patterns. We regularly collect data on nutrient consumption pattern and nutrition status of children, and then trends in nutrition status across decades and age and physiological group. We also have data on macro and micronutrients value of different foods. Recently, we completed collection of macro and micronutrient values of 160 odd foods across India for about 560 foods, 160 different macro and micronutrients. And also we evaluate environmental pollution and toxins that affect health, drug-nutrient interaction data, and nutrient and immune response data also we generate and provide the government. And we also generate guidelines to the government, such as recommended dietary allowance for different physiological age groups. This is a very important document based on which minimum wages and the nutrition supplementation program also, this is the actually this is the one which decides how much calorie and how much protein should be decided for any nutrition supplementary programs in India. And also this gives an idea and guides the government about what micronutrients and what are the quantities of micronutrients that should go into supplementation and fortification programs. We also have dietary guidelines for Indians. That's a beautiful book that guides the government again for recipes and different macro and micronutrients and for different physiological age groups. Then we also have recommendations on diet for diabetes, diet for heart disease, diet during pregnancy, nutrition and infection. Apart from this, with this data that has been generated and the guidelines that has been generated, we influence the policies of central government and also various state governments across India. And also another important mandate of NIN is to improve awareness of people across India, both literate and illiterate people. This we try to do by generating e-learning modules which can reach both literate and illiterate people across India, because 70% of our population lives in rural areas and their education status might be quite poor. So we make a very user-friendly approach here, and the response is very good. And apart from this e-learning module, we also have Nutrify India Now mobile app, which is which approaches India through 17 different languages. And it is a very user-friendly app where people can access it through different recipes or even through different food names in different languages. So this is also a very good mobile app which is being used by many people across India. Then apart from this, we also have a very important mandate of developing human resource. We have full-time MSc course for MSc Nutrition. One is MSc Applied Nutrition and one is MSc Sports Nutrition, a full-time 2 years course. Then we also have short-term certificate courses in nutrition. We have PhD scholars in nutrition, then various other ad hoc training programs. So these different training programs for in the core area of nutrition and also fluorosis, addressing fluorosis problem, nutrition dietary assessments, anthropometric assessment, public health personnel, and other various other animal handling. Then many other training programs are there, such as nutrition gene interactions, etc. as well. Then lastly, we also have need-based support during public health emergencies, such as, for example, now COVID has come and we support the government by doing various surveys in hotspot areas and also rural areas to see the trends of infection. Yeah. Thank you very much.